Hello, everybody. Gonna do a D&D campaign here, a little one-shot for my birthday. Gonna have a little fun. Hopefully not kill my characters. It's my first time DMing, so let's go ahead and get started. Alrighty, fellas. So, welcome to my campaign. I'll be your dungeon master. As you know, this is just filler while I find my little module that I wrote. Okay, perfect. Alrighty, fellas. So, we're gonna go ahead and start out. You guys are all residents of a little town named Edgeville. It's just kind of a little rural place, everybody just kind of does their own thing. They all are either farmers, or merchants. It's very close to the coast, so there is a little bit of trade that comes in. You guys are part of an adventurers guild. Kind of like an adventurers guild, where mostly you guys go out and help out people with their troubles. There has been a call recently to deal with some issues that have been going on, and I don't know who would be the first person to show up. Have to second. All right. So in this little town, you guys are all kind of just bunched around, waiting for your assignment, waiting for everybody to come in. And the lady calls out your names: Cthulhu, Demure, and Johnny Crash. If you guys
Wait,
could...
wait. Hold on. My character is a habitual liar and will not have used his actual name.
What? You never told me that. What's his character?
Yes, I did. When I
No.
designed the character, gave it to you. I did.
I thought Johnny Crash was the fake name.
Johnny Crash is the real name.
Oh, god damn it. Okay. What's your character's fake name?
His fake name is Ted Cash.
Okay. I'm making a note of this because I had not written this down.
To a great start.
Perfect. All right, Ted Cash, Demure, Cthulhu, your assignment is ready.
Just gonna say,
Who approaches first? Oh, go ahead, Ron. Sorry.
I'm making disgruntled clicking sounds.
Oh.
Right, I guess I will. Ted is going to wander on up to the counter. To the counter there and ask her, what's going on? Shoot her a little side eye, a little look.
Alrighty, Johnny. Or sorry, Ted. God damn it. Alrighty, Ted. I think I can communicate with you the most because your companions honestly unnerve me a little bit. It's just not something you see too often around here, Basically what's going on is there's been some issues in the farms around here. Farmers have been reporting that, that their plants aren't sick, they aren't pests, but for whatever reason, they're just not popping up. And so that they're trying to figure out what's going on, whether it could be somebody messing with them, if there's some kind of hidden or magical type of plague per se that's going on. And we need you guys specifically to go and check it out for me. Now, I do have a couple of farms to start out with, because they're the ones that have been reporting the most. There's going to be Saddle Vista Ranch. The owner is Earl Huckshaw. And then the other farm will be Meadow Bliss with Nigel and Marianne Meadow. I don't know which people you would like to, go see, but these are the people that we would recommend seeing more than anybody, as they seem to be our largest producers and seem to be seeing the biggest effects of this.
I think we can get right on that, darling. I say, and I tip my head to her.
Well, you go on and do that then. I'll let you guys be on your way. and then she goes ahead and tries to bury her head in paperwork to avoid making eye contact with Cthulhu specifically. You'd think that having worked with you guys previously that, you know, she'd be used to it.
She would
However,
get the name right.
she's not.
Okay,
It not
so which one
Cthulhu?
of
No, it's
Oh, it's
Ch'tul.
Chitul. Chitul.
So- okay, so Roan is
Hence the
Ch'tul.
hence the rumbling clicking noises.
and what is Gio's character's name?
Demure.
Very demure.
Correct.
Cannot understand a single thing Gio is saying.
I wasn't saying. I was.
All right, and the farm's name were Hookshaw and what?
We have Saddle Vista Ranch is the one of the farms, and then Meadow Bliss. If you look at your paperwork, you will see that Saddle Vista Ranch is more of a high production farm. They do stuff in mass. And then Meadow Bliss is more of like the local leaders of the farmers market around.
Is
So
there
it's
any,
not as large, but they do the thing.
Is there any information on the paperwork given that has any indication as to what exactly is going on?
They have zero clue, which is why they had to hire help from the little guild here, because they have no idea. They've been in the farm industry for years and they can't figure out what's going on. So
But what exactly is happening that they needed help?
the farms or the crops just aren't producing. Either there'll be blank areas where their crops should be. There's not dead plants, there's not consumed plants, they're just not producing. And they haven't changed their tactics in years, and the soil is not barren.
So is.
So they think it might be magical in nature, or there might be something else going on, and they ask for some help,
So they just disappeared, basically.
basically.
It's either magic
Or thievery.
or just straight up lazy employees.
I don't think it'd be thievery.
Oh, where would you guys like to head off to?
Okay.
I just want to point out, you don't. My character interacts with you guys via telepathy, so
It's true.
Oh, you're in our head.
he literally just when you hear me talk like as him, it's in your head.
Wow, you're
Otherwise,
just projecting
it's
your
just-
voice.
Yes,
Got
it's just normally it's this weird clicking noise.
it.
Oh,
Okay.
my headset battery's dying. Give me 2 seconds. While I'm doing this, if you guys want to describe your characters as you're walking towards your objective, that would be dope. Because I forgot to do that. So, give me 2 seconds.
Gio, sounded like you wanted to go first.
Oh, me?
Take the
Okay,
floor.
so. Sorry, so I guess. So I picked a Warforged. I'm about average height, about 5'10, weight's about 270. In terms of like physical looks, I guess I'm a mix of bronze and steel, with a slight red tinge to the metal in there. The red tinge is not, the alloy that I'm made of. It's just there. Slight blue glow eyes. There's no other visible features. I'm just wearing like a poncho basically. Have a warhammer and a shield, and that's basically like how I present.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Geo. Who would like to go
Um,
next?
Who you know as Ted Cash is about 5'10. I also ended up going with 5'10. Tiefling with cherry red skin. Cherry red skin, weighs about 150 pounds. He looks probably about middle aged. And he's been here in town for a little while. Definitely hasn't been here for his whole life, but he's been here for a little bit.
Awesome.
I said that you don't know too much about Ted.
Fair enough. Just for a little bit of background, you guys have all worked for this company before. You may have been on assignments together previously, or you may have just done stuff on your own. So you're somewhat familiar with each other, but this will probably be you're not unfamiliar to each other.
We are aware of each other's existences. This is
Correct,
not our
correct.
first time meeting.
Correct.
We're acquaintances, not friends.
Correct.
Workplace associates.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, Mr. Rowan,
Yeah.
could you please introduce Chitul?
So Chatul is about this. He's only about 4.5, maybe 5 feet tall. So he's a little bit on the shorter side than everyone. And he's a reddish brown, like mantis person. He's got a long leather coat, and on his back he's got a long rifle.
Okay,
That's
okay.
kind of holstered there. There are various different types of ammunition that are kind of like various scrolls and things that are attached to various belts on the coat. He's not wearing a like shirt, but he does have a bandana down around his neck. He does keep the coat kind of closed up near his chest.
Okay.
I would yeah, there you go. That's kind of basic description of him.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Now, would you guys like to discuss amongst yourselves what of the two options you guys would like to go visit first? You got either a big, basically a giant farm that does mass producing of produce for the town, or just a little, the tiny farm.
So basically-
Shadow,
Are we still sitting in like a tavern or something while we discuss where to go?
It's up to you guys. Do you guys want to walk and talk, or do you guys want to be in there still?
I mean, if they're both like kind of out the same direction, there's no reason we can't walk and talk.
Which one is the closer one?
I would say the closest one would probably be Meadow Bliss because they are smaller, so they don't need too much land or anything like that. Whereas, Saddle Vista Ranch is huge, and they kind of need a little bit more of the outskirts so that they have a lot more space. But they are both towards in the same general direction.
Same direction. Okay.
Well,
So-
we should probably start with Meadow Bliss since they are closer.
Yeah, I say since we're gonna,
There on our
since we have
way.
to investigate both of them or the problem in general, I'd say go to the closer one and then go to
Sure,
the other one afterwards.
absolutely.
So, as we're walking, I'm gonna look over at Cthulhu over there, Cthulhu, and just kind of be like, "So, Bugman, what's your deal? I've seen you around a couple times.
Looking for a bounty, and I'm coming up dark.
Ah, who you looking for?
Doesn't have a name. All I know is they're a tiefling. They're responsible for several murders.
Now it sounds like a certainly bad individual.
Little, I'd say.
What about-
It kind of almost sounds like a you just hear a clattering, almost like he's laughing.
Oh wait, so Rowan, side note, when your character talks to someone directly, do other people around him understand you, or do they just hear the chittering?
You just hear the chittering.
Okay,
unless
so I
they're
literally
directly addressing you.
don't know. I don't hear any of this. Okay, gotcha.
What about you, Tin Man?
Okay. I don't quite know what I'm doing here. I just kind of woke up with this book in my hand, and I just seem to be following it. I kind of just here just because there's nothing else for me to do, and I don't know like what direction I'm going. It's basically just running a job.
That's just going where the wind blows.
basically.
I'm somewhat similar to that. I've been around, blown from town to town. This is the longest I've ever been in one. Work here pays nice.
And that it does. As you guys continue to talk and discuss about your plans and how long you've been here, just get a little bit more acquainted with each other. You happen upon a big sign on the side with the big words Meadow Bliss written on it. And although the description of the farm itself was considered as small, to you guys, this is a rather large farm. There's probably about 15 workers here harvesting and doing their things. So, I need you guys to roll a group perception check for me, please.
No, group perception. Okay. Hold on, let me find my perception.
Okay. Side note, how do I do that?
Roll a d20, and then it'll be based off. Let me look at your character sheet.
So you have
your
a perception.
modifier.
Yeah, you have your wisdom modifier. Perception is a wisdom skill. So you'll do /roll d20 and then plus your wisdom modifier.
No, the bonus will be higher if you have proficiency in it.
I don't know how to read that, so which one is the roll?
It seems for some reason it's like it's rolling with advantage. So
Oh,
it's
I
just
thought I
all
turned that
wisdom.
setting off. Would you mind just rolling? Yes.
But it's so easy just to click it and have it.
Don't do that. Just roll a d20 for me, please.
Watch, now I'm gonna get a shitty roll because now I gotta re-roll.
It's a group perception. It's fine. You'll get carried.
Roll 1d20. 1d20 -2. Could have had a 16.
All
He rolled a
right.
16 as a point, bro.
So for whatever reason, Ted seems a little distracted. But you two notice, however, a lovely couple just hanging around, looking at the crops, talking to some of the workers, and, just kind of discussing the plans. What you see is a young, short human male and a, what did I write down? Hold on. Where did they go? And a young, spring eladrin.
A what?
And she's a little bit taller. Spring eladrin? Basically, like an elf.
The spring tree elves.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it makes sense that they would probably be the people to talk to here. What do you guys do?
So you said short human male and then the spring ladder and is she female?
Yes, correct.
Okay. So I would like to mosey on up. And I would like to say hello and greet her in Elvish. Because I do know Elvish.
She looks over. She is surprised to hear Elvish in this area. And then she responds in kind. She also says hello. Immediately after, her husband will look at the three of you guys and be like, "Hi, what can we do for you?"
We were sent here on a little job. We hear you're having a problem.
Oh, you must be here from the Adventurers Guild. Oh, thank goodness, we've been so worried. Our crops just haven't been doing what they're supposed to. And as he kind of ushers, he'll kind of walk up to you guys and kind of like, whoever's closest to him. Probably Ted would probably be the closest. You put your hands on his shoulders and be like, please, come this way and we can show you what's going on.
Okay. I let him do it. I let him guide me along.
All right. So he leads you alone just to a little set of crops here that they have lined up. And can you roll a perception check for me?
All of us are just him.
Just 10.
Cool.
All right. You do notice some odd stuff. These are very neat rows of crops. Probably about 5 rows, and it looks like there's just missing patches of crops. There's the crops that are growing are fully bloomed. They have full sets of delicious looking fruit on them, or vegetables, or the plants look healthy. However, there's just patches that are just missing. See what I mean? We don't know what's going on. We haven't changed our tactics. We've been doing the same stuff forever, and it's always worked out for us. We don't know what's going on.
Okay. Are we near one of the bald spots?
Near one of the what?
One of the like bald patches where crops just poof are gone.
Yeah. I mean,
Are we-
it's not like it's rare. There's definitely patches here and there that are just missing, but it's not like it's only here or only there. It's every single row of these has had multiple cases where the crops just aren't growing.
I asked him if it's okay if I go and examine the area.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to go, and I'm gonna go to the area. I'm gonna lean down or kneel down and examine some of the soil.
Roll an investigation check for me.
Examine some of the. All right, let's see a +1. +1.
Very nice. Okay. You start to dig through the soil. All right, this is one of the empty plots that you're looking at, right?
Yeah, where
You're
the crops
looking-
have disappeared.
So you're looking through the soil, and you don't see anything going on, anything weird about the soil. The soil seems to be perfectly fine. It looks like it's not like, how when you see like barren patches of dirt, it looks just absolutely horrid versus like you see a nice patch of dirt that you like fertilized dirt basically, where it's nice and dark and full of nutrients. This is what it looks like. It looks like it could support life.
So
Um,
it looks like somebody came along and just took the plants.
No, it doesn't look like the soil's been disturbed at all. It looks like it's fine. Are you gonna dig into it, or are you just gonna just look at it?
Yeah. So when I meant I'm kind of examining, so I meant kind of like picking it up, kind of
Sure.
shuffling around, looking at it.
Sure. So if you move around enough the dirt, you could probably see that whatever they had planted, whatever seed was here, is still there. It just hasn't sprouted.
Okay. I'm gonna stand back up, walk back over to our little human buddy there.
Mhm.
I'm gonna put my hand on his shoulder. I'm gonna see. Well, the seeds are there, and it doesn't look like they're growing, and I think I know why.
Oh,
It's
really? What would
obvious
that be?
I think the types of fertilizer you're using are wrong.
Or what?
The fertilizer you're using is all wrong.
Please roll a deception check.
1d20 plus 8.
This is perfect. All right. Seeing this, the young Eladrin female goes up to you, and she looks at you dead in the eyes and says, "This cannot be. Look at me. I am a spring Eladrin. All I've done my entire life is be around nature. I know how to be with plants, and we might be somewhat new to the farming scene, but we have been doing this fine, and for the last couple years, it's been fine. We have not changed anything. the fertilizer's all the same, and I don't understand. You cannot be correct in this assessment. I am sorry, but I will not be taking that advice. There must be something else going on.
Well, something is very obviously making the little seeds that are upset.
I'm just, as this is playing out, I just look over at Demir, and I'm like, in his head, and just because she's been doing it this long doesn't mean she's any good at it.
Well,
Oh, shit.
obviously, something's changed. Something's changed.
So Crow,
Yes,
it's just like a weird missing patch of ground, correct?
correct.
Okay, and it's not like disturbed, nothing of that sort.
Not that you could see.
Can
Have
I
your tents
use
been
Can I use divine sense to see if like it's like an evil presence that's causing it or no?
Could you describe divine sense for me? Is it just
Divine
that? It just
sense?
detects good and evil?
Is the presence of strong evil registers your sense like a noxious order of powerful things. It basically detects within the radius if there's like desecrated land or desecration of any sort.
Okay. I see. All right. Go ahead and try.
Okay, so
Oh.
it's what would that be for like a roll?
I don't
Uh,
think there is.
Yeah,
a roll for
I
that.
think you just cast it.
Okay,
I think it's just you use divine sense.
yeah, I could use it once, one plus whatever my charisma modifier is per long
Okay.
rest. So
Okay.
I can use it 3 times.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and.
So how it works is until your next turn, well, since we're not in combat, you know the location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet of you that's not behind total cover, or roleplay it, whatever. But
Yeah.
Celestial fiends are undead, and evil or good shit is generally what it detects.
Then I do see if there's anything evil around us that's causing it.
Absolutely, go for it. And I want you to describe what it is that you're doing. Like, how does your character do this? Basically.
I mean, if it's just a sense, I guess it's more like a.
Yeah.
Like
Do
you
your
just kinda-
eyes do your eyes light up? Do you hear any weird mechanical
I guess-
whirring? Just add some flavor to it, basically.
Okay, so basically, I kind of just like feel in my brain like where the evil presence and what direction it's kind of facing, and I kind of have this, I guess, like sixth sense of it's pointing that direction if it's actually there.
Okay. I will say that you don't notice or sense anything malicious. However, there seemed to be a weird fluctuation in the area. It wasn't malicious. It wasn't anything weird at all. So I don't know what you would like to do.
I guess I feel. Okay, I guess I'll talk now. So hey, I feel a presence in this general direction. I don't know what it is or what.
And
I just have a
this-
sense that something's this way.
Yeah, you sense it all over the fields. It's not to specific one area.
Oh, okay.
It does. It's not something small. It's kind of envelops the entire farm.
Okay, so it is a desecration of some sort. So it is magic.
No, it's not a desecration per se, but you sense something. You don't know what it is. It's not evil. It's not something that's looking to harm or do anything like that.
Okay.
Is Ted still holding the seed? During
I would
this?
say yes. I'd say yeah.
You just hear in the back of your mind, just as I intrude upon your thoughts. Let me take a look at the seed. I might have something that might help us figure out what's going on instead of lying through your teeth.
Mm.
I am offended, sir, that you would accuse me of lying. But here's the seed.
I'm
And
going.
as I'm handing the seed back over, I'll turn back to our couple there and tell them, well, something is obviously up, and something has changed.
I'm
Yeah.
going to just kind of walk back out to a clearing, like a small clearing in the area.
Mm-hmm.
draw a circle on the ground with various runes, like kind of etching it into the dirt with my finger,
Sure.
placing the seed in the middle, and I'm going to ritually cast for 10 minutes detect magic on the seed.
Okay. Okay. And this process is going to take a full 10 minutes, or for 10 minutes you can detect whether there's magic?
It takes 10 minutes for me
Okay.
to perform it, but I basically made like an alchemy circle, like Full Metal Alchemist circle.
Okay.
with
Sounds
this
good.
thing in the middle of it, and
Alright.
it's you just hear this kind of disconcerting like chittering
All right.
I
Well,
guess
as like the circle starts to glow.
perfect. While
Well,
this is going on, we're going to do a little bit of sidebar then while you're doing that. The Nigel will come up to Demure and be like, "Oh my gosh, I cannot believe we never actually introduced ourselves. My name is Nigel, and this is my beautiful wife, Marianne. May we please get to know your names?"
Oh, okay. Since you're talking to me,
Yes,
good
coming up to
evening.
you. Yes.
My name is Demir. As you can see, I'm made of metal man. Um, my companion, the chittering fellow over there, is I forgot his name already.
Chitu.
Chitul.
Yes.
And then our other tiefling buddy is Ted. You've already talked to him before. Don't mind the chittering from our lizard looking little friend.
Yes, yes.
It's kind of just
It
what he
is a
does.
little unnerving. It is a little unnerving. I don't think we've ever seen a creature like that before. Marianne comes up to you and she just stares at Chitul with wonder as she's looking around what he's doing. She's just curious more than anything, but she's never really seen anybody like you guys before. She's just used to very casual human people around her. And she's like, "Wow, this is so cool to see. I just don't like this Ted person over here. He pissed me off. But I like you guys so far. If you guys don't piss me off, then you guys are fine."
That seems very hostile sounding.
I wasn't the one that accused me of fucking not knowing how to farm. We learned everything from the person who used to own this farm before. Her name was Madam Jones, and she had been farming forever, and everything she ever did was incredibly well done. Everything she grew was... I couldn't understand how someone could grow so much produce from one small amount of things. We still got a long ways to go before we can catch up to Madam Jones, but we've learned a lot. But we haven't changed much of her recipes or anything, so even though we're not getting the same results that she is, we don't understand why some of the plants aren't growing.
Excuse me, is Madam Jones still around?
Ah, yes, yeah, she is. She lives on the other side of town.
Noted.
Now I'm gonna put this in my notes.
Now, we have had issues with, like, insects and wildlife before, but we have taken precautions, and even though we still get a couple of pests around, it's nothing major.
You don't notice it, but at the mention of pests, Chitul kind of like cringes a little bit.
I'm gonna walk over to the new group that's formed and go say, I apologize if I offended you.
Oh, absolutely did, but I will accept your apology.
My intention was not to insinuate that you didn't know what you're doing. I made an educated guess off of what I know of farming and after examining your soil.
And what do you know of farming?
I know some. I've been around here or there, various places throughout the world. Come across many towns with many farms in different environments. I am no expert. But crops just not growing usually is something wrong with the soil.
Fair enough.
But like you mentioned, you've done the same thing for all the patches of soil. So obviously that was wrong.
Yeah.
I did not know that at the time when
it's
I made my assessment.
super strange. Thank you. I accept your apology. What's your friend doing over there? we'll go ahead and say the 10 minutes have passed.
So by doing that, if there is magic at work, let me see. Sense the presence of magic within 30 feet, specifically on that, and then I should be able to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in area that bears magic, and learn that school of magic.
Okay.
So if there is a magic affecting this seed, I should be able to know what type of magic it is.
Okay. Now, when you do this, you notice something strange. At first it doesn't seem so strange because you're looking at the seed for the most part. And from what you've gathered, there is nothing magical about the seed whatsoever. However, as you stand up to go tell your companions, all of a sudden, everything you see around you is glowing, except for the patches that are missing. What do you do?
So everything is glowing.
Every
As in crops.
just the land in general seems to have a very faint glow. It's not huge, it's not super bright. There's just a slight, glowing to the ground and all the land around you that you can see. Except the patches that are missing vegetables seem to be completely devoid of any of this glow.
I relay to the Eladrin, Marianne. Well, it seems like your soil is completely barren of magical energy in several places.
Ah! Sorry.
The seed is completely devoid of any form of magic.
She looks very pale when she hears a voice in her head.
Are you just talking to just her, or are you broadcasting this around?
Oh, at this point, I'm just talking to just her.
Okay.
She seems extremely pale, and she looks around, trying to look for the source of the voice. And
I'm
then
staring right at her.
And then immediately it throws her off, and then she looks at you and she's like, "Is that you? Are you talking to me through my head?"
Yes, creepy bug man. I can't make voices.
Oh my gosh! You need to come with a warning label.
Is this not warning label enough? I'm just making movements towards my face.
It's more of a warning to stay away. But anyways, what were you saying about magic?
The seed that was planted in the area there's no magic.
But we don't use any type of magic in our spells at all, or in our farms at all. Everything here is just planted naturally. We just use fertilizers. We use the seeds. We just use normal water. Nothing that we do. We don't use any magical forms. I don't even think any of our farmers know how to use magic. I know a little bit, but it's just, maybe make some lights dance. Sure.
Are you okay if I cut down one of these crops here?
Please, if it'll help your investigation, yes.
I just pull a dagger out and cut down a plant nearby.
Sure.
Okay. So this might be disconcerting. Again, I'm going to be chittering a lot.
Okay, that's fine.
I take it back over to where I was with the seed.
Okay.
I'm going to again draw the circles, but this time I'm going to pull out a pistol.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to ritually cast Identify using my pistol as my spellcasting focus.
Okay. And what are you like?
I try to identify what magic is being used on the plants.
Okay.
So it still takes 10 minutes, but it just looks like I am threatening a plant above a circle.
And you see for about 10 minutes this happening, and the couple over here is slightly unnerved and whispering amongst themselves, "What is going on?" And then
I'd
Go ahead.
like to talk to them a little bit while this is
Yeah,
happening.
sure. Go ahead.
I'd like to try to get some more information out of them.
distract them from the creepy bug man.
Has anyone
Train 'em like a plant.
strange? Has anyone strange been on your farms recently?
No, nothing. Nobody strange. Like I said, the most we've had were just pest problems and insects, and nothing major. But that's it.
Hmm.
Nothing strange until you people showed up.
You guys have been about the strangest that. Yeah, you guys have been about the strangest people we've seen.
Now, you're going to have to excuse me here for a second. I can only hear half the conversation. What's this about magic and crops?
Oh, your friend here was saying she eyes Chitul kind of nervously. She just keeps eyeing him every now and then as she's talking. Your friend was saying that there seems to be magic in the ground here, and that the plants or the spots where the plants are growing, it seems to be devoid of all magic, and but we don't understand why, because we don't use any type of magical means in our farming.
Hmm. Okay. That is odd.
It is. So we don't know what's going on. This farm, granted, isn't ours originally. We got this from Madam Jones, and it's just something that we've just had for like maybe the last 5 years. But our farm has been successful enough to join the local farmers market and even be in charge of it. We do all sorts of community events, and we're the ones that do all the planning and everything, because people look up to us because of the way our crops grow. Everything seems to be going fine until recently, and we're not the only ones. I hear there's farms all over that have been doing this.
Hmm. Hey, question, Crow.
Yes.
Are we just surrounded by fields, or are we near like a farmhouse or anything?
There are little places where you could see where they would go in and store their fruits and their vegetables or whatever other produce that they might be producing. But for the most part, it's just mostly a field. There's a little house at the end where you assume that, Nigel and Marianne live in, but for the most part, it's just
Nothing,
a
I'm
little farm.
assuming.
Yeah, nothing that's out of place, nothing that's wild or anything.
Nothing with father or anything. Okay. Is it okay if I go examine one of the places y'all store your food?
Yeah, go for it. Please, help yourselves. We'll be here looking at this weird thing that your friend seems to be threatening to plant, and we're just kind of curious about what's going on. So
Just
I'm gonna stay
violently
here.
gesturing at a plant.
I'm gonna stay here. If you want, my wife here will be more than happy to show you around.
Okay, thank you.
So she'll lead you to one of the little farmhouses
As
where storage is.
I wanna try something. Just to have a
Sure.
little bit of fun here.
Sure, she's gonna go ahead and
that-
open the door, and you're gonna see that there's just boxes of potatoes
When
and carrots and lettuce and everything around there.
So when she goes to open the door, does she pull out a key or does she just go to open it?
No, it just opens.
Okay, before she reaches the door,
Hmm.
before she reaches the door, I'm going to audibly sneeze. Right.
Okay.
I'm using this as the verbal component of me casting thaumaturgy. Right?
Okay.
I'm going to cause the door to fly open as she goes to open it.
Sure. She's gonna go ahead and reach for the door, and as she does, you sneeze, and it startles her. And as you do, all of a sudden, the door swings wide open, and she's like, "What the heck? What's going on here?" She looks at you. Did you do this?
No, all it is the pollen in the air is messing with my sinuses.
That's
All I do
weird.
is sneeze.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think that's the weirdest thing y'all have going on here.
Well, doors don't normally open by themselves, but please take a look. This is where we store all the vegetables that we picked that are going to be going out for the market throughout the week. So please help yourselves, see if you can find anything.
I'm gonna walk in. I'm gonna walk around, look around the building, maybe pick up a piece of produce or two and examine it and see if it might notice or just kind of feel like anything's off.
Sure. I'm not even gonna have you roll for this because from what you've noticed, everything's fine. There's nothing ridiculous about the plants in size. They're just normal vegetables. The tomatoes aren't withered. They're not overly plump. You know, they're just regular. Nothing's off about them. And just
nothing.
really quick, what is Demir doing? Are you staying
think-
with him, or are you staying? Are you staying with Ted, or are you staying with Chitul?
I'm shooting the shit with Nigel, watching him look at Chitul.
Okay, fair enough. All right, go ahead. Ted, what are you doing?
I will. I'll tell her that nothing seems to be up with the vegetables or the storehouses. So whatever is affecting your crop yield is in the ground somewhere.
Okay, sure thing. We're
If
gonna
it's
go
not the
ahead
crops
and
themselves.
fair enough. You guys are gonna go ahead and start making your way back.
Okay.
In the meantime, Nigel's gonna look at Demir and be like, "Boy, this sure is strange. I have to tell you, I'm not very old, but I've definitely seen some strange things around me, and I've never seen a giant bug point their weapon at a plant. Usually, they just eat them."
Don't worry, I'm not used to it either. I still can't get used to this guy.
That's fair. Mr. Rowe, we're gonna go ahead and resolve your
Oh.
thing right now.
Okay.
It just seems very like a very natural magic. Almost it would, if it had to be any type of nature of magic, you would say it would be Fey in nature. But other than that, it's just natural, and it's not a lot. It's not a lot of magic. It's very small amounts. Like whatever this is on the ground just seems to be a natural part of the ground. It wasn't placed here by anyone.
Okay. So I learn. So when I cast Identify,
Hmm.
I learn basically everything there is to know about the item. So the plant,
It's a
as
potato.
well as a potato. I also learn what spells are affecting it and what they are, or if anything is affecting it and what they are.
I will say you
And
cannot.
then-
I will say that even though you cast a spell, there's not really a direct spell that is affecting this.
but it
it's
is being
just-
affected by like Fey magic.
Correct.
Is there like any kind of directionality to the Fey magic? Like, is it being pulled in a certain direction?
No, it's just here. Like
Just
they're
permeating the area.
correct.
So Crow, is Ted back or not yet?
You could see them making their way back right now.
Okay.
So-
Go ahead, Ron.
So I learned this shortly after their conversation, and
Mhm.
I put away the pistol and I just turn and in Nigel's head. By the way, insect is offensive.
Oh shit! Okay, sorry, that was weird. You did it to my wife
Or-
before, and I hadn't experienced this. Hi, I'm Nigel. I apologize. I meant no offense. We just meant
Or
it as the
bug.
creatures
Bug
that
is
like.
offensive.
What would be less offensive to you?
Insect.
Okay. Yes, there are just insects that eat our plants every now. And you are very insect-like, so I apologize for my bigotry. All right, Ted is back. What do you guys would like to do?
Okay.
Nigel and Marianne will be talking to each other to just kind of explain what each other saw. What do you guys do?
I'll bring both party members together, and I'll talk to them.
Sure.
Okay. I think we should talk to this the previous owner of the land, Madam Jones, that he brought up. Maybe she can figure out what's happening, since this seems to happen as soon as they basically took over her land.
No, this is recent. Remember, they've owned this farm for 5 years,
Oh, so
and
it's a recent thing.
only just recently this has started happening.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it still might be worth going to talk to Madam Jones, see if she's encountered something like this before.
Sure.
I'm going to broadcast to both of you because I can do that if you're willing.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm willing.
So that way we can have conversations.
Hmm.
And I'm going to explain about how the entire area, like soil-wise, is just permeated with Fey magic, except for the barren places, the barren spots.
Sure. What do you guys do?
So, but this is obviously some new development, so I do agree it would be best to talk to this Madam Jones or previous owner.
Yeah, that'd probably be the best course of action.
Okay. Marianne, all of a sudden, her ears perk up, and she heard you mentioning Madam Jones. She's like, "Did you guys say something about Madam Jones?"
I from our little huddle, I poke my head up. We're just fixing to go meet her, ask her if she's experienced anything like this.
I can give you directions to her place if you'd like.
That'd be very much appreciated.
Okay, so she's on the exact other side of the town where we're at right now. She's in a small little hut. There's a giant tree by her house, but she's right on yonder. You just follow this main road all the way back from the direction that you came from, and that's where she's at.
Well, thank you mighty kindly for the directions.
You're very welcome. I hope you guys can figure this stuff out soon.
I'm going to walk up to Nigel, reach out, shake his hand. Tell him,
Yes. Thank you for
nice
stopping by. We appreciate you guys.
it was nice meeting you. I hope you have a nice day.
Likewise.
I do the same. I do the same for Marianne there.
Marianne goes up and hugs you.
And in Elvish, tell her it's a pleasure to meet her. And I hope to see her around.
All right, she will reply in kind. Without the wink, as she's married.
Hey, just because there's a goalie doesn't mean you still can't score.
You get stabbed immediately. Just kidding. No, that does not happen. That does not happen.
I didn't say I was attempting anything yet. We're all farmers here. I'm just planting seeds.
God damn it. So Marianne will go up and hug each of you guys, including Chitul, as she's taken a liking to you, despite your odd ways. Thank you so much for helping out. All right.
Didn't expect that one.
All right. So what would you guys like to do? Now, the other farm is a little bit away, and then Madam Jones is on the other side of town. So what would you guys like to do?
We should probably stop by Saddle Vista, since it's closer to here, so we don't have to schlep across town, then come all the way back over here again.
I agree.
Okay, so you guys make your way to Saddle Vista?
What did Chitul say?
I said seems a fairly salient point.
All right. Let us be out as we're leaving. And we're just talking with each other. I'm going to have our conversation be another verbal component to thaumaturgy.
What would you like to do with thaumaturgy?
Before we were like more than 30 feet away from our couple there, just some slight ground tremors they're going to feel. Just under them, just some very slight, harmless ground tremors.
Okay. They look a little unnerved by the situation at hand, so they start making their way back to their cottage. And that's it. Do your party members feel this?
No, it's just localized under them.
Okay. Yep. They seem unnerved and go inside immediately.
Listen, when I had option to take thaumaturgy as a cantrip, I'm like, oh, for my character, this is fucking perfect.
All right. So you guys are gonna make your way to Saddle Vista Ranch. For the sake of brevity, let's say you just make it there. Holy shit, it's right over there. Uh, as you walk up to the farm, this farm, if you thought that Meadow Bliss was a large farm, it has nothing on this. There is acres upon acres of land of just every crop imaginable that you can see, and there's hundreds of workers here. You can't believe it. It's so large that there's a little bit of an office of sorts as you walk up to the farm, where there is a secretary right up front who is eyeing the three of you nervously. What do you guys do?
Before we get into too close to it, I'm going to pull up the bandana around my neck
Mm-hmm.
to kind of cover the lower part of my face
Sure.
and kind of put a hat that I have around my
Okay.
back, like a wide brimmed hat on,
Uh-huh.
kind of low,
Uh-huh.
kind of just kind of hide who I am a little bit.
Okay. Fair enough.
Kind of
With
learned from the last time.
Looks like a bandito.
with this in mind, now that you look a bit more like an outlaw, the secretary is definitely very unnerved and by
Which
you
is more
guys'
unnerving,
appearance.
the Bugman or the outlaw?
Well, I don't know. Either way, she just sees a dude in a bandana coming up to her, and a
With a
big
metal
metal dude, and a red devil. So she's slightly
Fired
unnerved,
quite a bunch.
and you see her reach underneath the desk as she looks at you. Oh, what the heck? It's been over an hour. Hold on.
I was about to say the
The-
ambient.
Definitely not metal music, lads. Hold on. I forgot to put it on loop. Okay. So she
I'm
looks
gonna-
at you. You see her hands kind of shuffling underneath the desk where she's at, as if she's pressing something frantically, and then her other hand is just kind of like there underneath, unmoving. But
So is she just a human woman?
yes, just a regular human woman. She's like, "Howdy there. How can we help y'all?"
Yep, I'm gonna mosey on up to
Okay.
her and go, howdy, darling.
Hi there.
We've been sent by the Adventurers Guild to investigate the farms around here.
At the
We hear you might be having some problems.
when the moment that you say Adventurers Guild, you see like relief wash over her face, and she's like, "Oh, thank goodness, we have been needing your help. Let me go ahead and get the boss here real quick, and I'll be right back." You see her other hand that she had kept hidden just kind of like move back into place as if putting something under the desk back to where it belonged, and then she
You're
scurries
so
off to
good
the
at
office
me.
next door. You don't know? Do you want to look?
Okay, so how far away is she going?
She's just going to the office next door, probably about 15 feet away from
I quickly check what's under the desk.
where you see a gun,
Oh,
like
she's full of gunnery.
like a sawed-off shotgun that is on a swivel that can be aimed directly in front of her and to the sides. She was ready.
Oh, so you know what? You know, thaumaturgy time, baby. So because one of the things I can do is create an instantaneous sound. I'm going to have the instantaneous sound. I'm going to cast thaumaturgy. Have an instantaneous sound of a gunshot emanate from under the desk,
Why?
and I'm gonna recoil back. And what's the name of a god? in this
Lathander is the sun god.
Sweet. I'm just going to yell out, "Sweet Lathander!"
I quickly drop on the floor, pretending I'm dead.
God damn it!
Okay. What I'm going to do is immediately like rip off my coat, and I'm going to use my chameleon carapace and attempt to hide to do a stealth check.
Roll a d20 for me.
Try to do a stealth. Because I have proficiency and advantage with that.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a d20. Roll a stealth check. You are now naked, but continue.
Thaumaturgy is such a fucking fun spell. It's such a good roleplay spell.
You are invisible.
So I rolled a 24.
Yeah. You are invisible.
Actually-
No, even your own friends that are beside you don't know what happened to you. If they're looking. Anyways, at the sound of the gunshot, you see the secretary immediately come out in a shock and completely pale, and she's like, "What happened?" What do you do?
An explosion came out from under the desk, and I think it hit my compatriot here.
She'll go back and she'll go and look under the desk and take a look at the gun. She's like, "Wait, the safety is on and the rounds are still in there. What do you mean? What about
Yeah,
your friend, the one
explosion.
that had the guns? Did you shoot your own friend?"
Wait, what about my friend? I turned around. I was like,
There's
Where-
just
where did he go?
more.
"Where in the nine hells did he go?"
And then she'll go up and check on Demir. She's not really sure what to check on because you're made of metal.
Is this like an office? Or
Yes, it is an
like
office.
a gate check-in?
It's an office.
And she's
Hold on.
distracted right now?
Yeah, I'm gonna roll a d20 for her for a medicine check on Byron real quick. So hold on.
Byron, dang.
Sorry, on
Man,
Demir.
you're just fucking government naming.
Doxing.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus.
She actually looks you over and she doesn't see any form of scratch marks or anything or dents or what she would think would be blood. She doesn't know what your blood would be like, but she doesn't see anything. What do you guys
While
do?
she's doing this, since I am like hidden, can I get around behind her? Is it possible for me to get around
Yes.
behind her desk?
Yes.
Do I see, while she's distracted, is there any paperwork or anything that could indicate like incoming and outgoing, like transportation or like anything like that, like recent shipments in and out, like a manifests?
Roll an investigation check for me.
I like your thoughts, Ron.
I
like
will
this
say.
plan
Oh,
being brought-
I never mentioned this, but you guys do all have inspiration.
Oh.
To begin with.
Good to know. Good.
But yes. Please roll an investigation check for me.
Oh.
Oh my God! I can't believe I didn't mention this. Quick pause. I forgot to tell you guys. There's a
Okay.
mechanic that I'm instilling in this game. Oh, you know what? Yeah. We'll do it. It lets you re-roll your d20s. But
Okay.
there is a cost. Anytime you re-roll, you will have to roll on a different table. To roll for a curse. These aren't free.
But what if you're using a point of inspiration?
Yeah, for the inspiration is fine, but you get one of those. But
So I'm going to
the
use that now.
okay, go for it.
Oh,
Okay, we'll just use your higher roll. You see nothing really out of the ordinary for you. These numbers are just what there's nothing drastic about it, and without anything to compare it to from the past, whether it's you don't know whether it's good or bad, basically. These are just they seem to be just a regular shipping manifest.
Can I grab everything?
Desk is filled with piles and piles of paperwork. You can lift it, but you're not going to be invisible anymore because the papers do not share the same chameleon effects that you do.
Okay.
All of
Then.
a sudden, you hear a
Uh,
loud booming voice. What in the seven hells is going on out here? All of a sudden, you walk outside, or you look to this where the sound came from, and you see a old human with a big white beard coming out in overalls. And he's like, "What's going on here?" And then the secretary looks at him. I don't know. They're saying there were some gunshots, and their friend that had guns is gone. This man is on the ground, but I can't find any wounds on him. And my gun is still under the desk with, all the shells still in and the safety on. So I have no idea what's going on here, boss. He goes up
Question.
to, yes.
Did the door swing into the room or out of the room?
Like when he came in?
Is it an in-swing door or an out-swing door?
With you guys coming in or when he came in?
Let's say when he came in.
When he came in, the door swung inside the office where you guys are at.
I'm still relatively hidden.
You didn't pick up the papers, right?
No.
Oh, yeah, then you're still hidden.
Can I attempt to get behind the door?
Yes. The door does swing back forward, but yes.
Do you want me to roll another stealth?
No, you're fine. I mean, you're still stealth, but going behind the door, it seems to just be going back and locking into place. I don't know if that
Can I-
makes a difference for you.
Can I quickly grab my coat as I pass it?
They'll
With a
see the
sleight
code
of
drag
hand-
by,
with
but
sleight of
yes.
hand. With
Go
sleight of
for it,
hand.
because everyone's looking at the boss right now. Roll.
This is so stupid. If I could do this. Because I have proficiency with this.
Good luck.
You
18.
All right, you succeed. Everyone seems to be too distracted by the giant human man that just showed up with the large booming voice that nobody's really paying attention to what you're doing.
I kind of sneak behind the door, put my coat on, and it just goes back shut.
Yeah.
And I just kind of like chitter like, hello.
What in tarnation? What is going on here? Someone explain to me right now before I start booting and kicking your asses out of here.
I
We-
start motioning at the door and like mimicking it hitting me in the face.
I don't
We
give a damn. Please
we are
explain
here
yourselves.
from the Adventurers Guild. We were sent to investigate the local farms, see what the hell y'all have had going on. We've already been to Meadow Bliss, and we're coming here next.
Okay,
And then when
but
we
that
came
doesn't tell
in,
me why there was
the
a giant
secretary went to
gunshot.
get you. The secretary went to get you. There was a gunshot. My compatriot here fell over. Now I don't know what the hell happened or if something's wrong with him. When I say that, I'm going to lean over and press my ear up to like the chassis of his body. I'm going to keep talking. It's like it sounds like something's whirring around wrong in there. And as I say that, thaumaturgy time. This one's going to be one that actually lasts for a little bit. There's going to be the sound of like metal, like kind of screeching and grinding on itself. That I'm going to
Aw.
choose to have emanate from inside of him.
I let it happen.
Okay, hearing this, the farmer will come up to Demure here, take his fist, and just give him a big thump on the back. Does that do anything? Does that wake up Demure? Does that stop the screeching noise?
I'm going to say the screeching, the grinding's going to keep going for a little bit longer.
Okay. Demure, are you doing anything?
Fuck. Let's say I get back up.
You're gonna get back up?
Yeah.
Alright, are you okay?
Yeah, I heard a loud bang and then I tripped and I guess I kind of got knocked out there for a second.
As he's saying that, the screeching, grinding is going to start to fade away.
You just see the big farmer just kind of like put his hand right in front of his eyes and just be like, he's got a migraine going on. Like, oh Jesus. All right, you guys are from the
Don't say
Adventurer Guild. What would you guys like to know? My name, by the way, is Earl Huckshaw. What can I do for you fellas?
What a coincidence. My name's Earl, too.
Roll a deception check.
Sure thing.
I'm gonna roll for insight to see if he's telling the truth. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Oh, that would have been close. Okay. Okay, Earl. What can I do for you fellas?
Well, like I had said earlier, we've heard there's been some strange happenings happening.
You're absolutely correct, Mini Earl.
By
In the-
any chance, is it something to do with just small sections of crops not growing?
Yes and no. And mostly because my farm is so damn big, it feels like there's just acres of missing plot. But I'm sure it's about the same as anywhere else.
I'm going to use
I
my
bet you-
telepathy really quick to
I bet.
both of you.
Sure. You're just gonna say so. I bet you more than anything, it's a bunch of them foreigners coming in and taking my crops for themselves.
Oh, you've done this.
Oh,
I do everything I can. I hire a lot of them folks, and they still out here stealing my stuff.
oh, I'm sure he loves a tiefling, a warforged. And
He's definitely eyeing you guys very suspiciously.
and a fucking mantis person walking into his fucking office. I'm sure he loves that.
Yep,
I'm
yep.
going to, in your heads, I'm going to just say, ask him if any of his workers have experienced any interactions with the Fae.
I'm gonna say that. Do y'all happen to have any Fae around here, or has anyone in here interacted with anyone of the Fae persuasion lately?
Fae? You mean like fairies? We don't hire any of them here. We all got nothing but humans here. And then as he says that, he looks at the secretary, like, he tells her, like, just gives her a quick glance, like, kind of like side-eyeing her, and then she immediately scurries off to the next, like, off to the fields real quick.
Where'd you send her?
She's got her own job to do. Now, what can I do for you fellas? What else can I answer for you?
Is there? Oh, actually, no. Bad question. Never mind.
Okay, how do we want to play this? Is Rowan still kind of in the back of the room?
He's still back
Yeah, he's
there,
here.
but Earl
Is-
Hookshaw's
is-
positioned himself where he can keep an eye on all three of you.
Okay.
Can I do an
Specifically, the weird
he
bug
mentioned-
creature.
when he mentioned that, you know, there are no fae or fairies or anything like that here, and he looked at the secretary, can I do an insight check on that?
Yeah. Roll for
I
insight.
just want to see if he's the
Yeah, there's
way
something
that
real fishy about that.
Okay. You notice that there did seem to be something off. It's almost as if he's hiding something. And the signal that he threw at his secretary was to like go deal with it before they go see it. What would you guys like to do?
Okay. So. All right, time for me to, you know, do a little bit of trickery here. All right. So so Cthulhu is still behind us.
Mhm.
I'm
I'm
going,
going.
to. Oh, okay. Go ahead.
So with one hand behind my back, I'm going to kind of gesture, pointing at the door, in a way Cthulhu to see it. Kind of like telling him go out, just kind of pointing.
He is telepathic, so you can communicate with him telepathic.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in your brain.
Are you in my brain right now?
But can
He's
we
always
brain to him?
yes. You guys can have now. Cthulhu can hear both of you, but Demure cannot contact Ted, and Ted cannot, unless it's different.
Okay.
We can brain talk to
Him.
Cthulhu.
Oh,
Correct.
okay, but we can't. Okay. Okay. Well, in that case, that takes out the whole need to do the hand signal thing. I'm going to tell Cthulhu. I'm going to try to distract the boss man here. And whatever little trick you did slip away during all that commotion, I want you to try to do it again and follow that secretary.
In your guys' heads, you hear, oh, he's definitely lying about something in regards to the Fae, and it involves that secretary. So
Here's
Now,
what I'm going to.
your insight check was to see what was fishy, right?
to see if he was lying about that in regards to.
So let me rephrase this because I feel, just for clarification's sake, you felt when he said the words, "Fae, we don't hire them here. We only hire humans." When he said we only hire humans, that was when it was a little bit thrown off. And so he especially doesn't seem to like fairies. That much you could tell he was telling the truth.
Mhm. I mean, I'm just suspicious of the fact he immediately after saying that sent his secretary off.
Yeah. All right,
I'm just suspicious. All right, so I'm going to attempt to. What I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to distract the big boss here, right? So I'm going to, kind of slide on over to him, and I'm going to attempt to put, my arm around him, and I'm going to gesture with my other hand.
okay.
And I'm going to gesture away from Cthulhu, back towards the offices. And I'm gonna say to him, it's like, y'all have a mighty impressive operation here.
Well, that
I've
we do.
been
We worked
around.
very hard for years. It was my pappies and my grandpappies and my grandpappies before that.
I've been around. I've been to many places. I've been to many towns. This is just where I am now. And I've never quite seen an operation like this. This is honestly impressive.
I
And-
appreciate that, Mr. Mini Earl. And then, as he says this, he was also going to take his hands off, your hands off him, because he doesn't like people touching him. But
As he
continue.
goes to do that, the office door he came out of, he came in through the front doors. Oh no, I guess the office door. Just one of the office doors that is out of the line of sight from where he can't see Cthulhu, and the office door at the same time. I'm going to use thaumaturgy to make it fly open as I'm talking to him.
Okay.
To
He will
disguise
look at
the
it.
verbal component. I just say, what in sweet blazes with that?
All right. I need you to roll a deception check. And Mr. Rowan, what are you going to do?
Well, I'm going to take that as my cue to attempt a stealth check
Go ahead.
to
And you can roll
split
at
my
advantage.
coat off.
All right, that was my deception check. I got a 27.
Fair enough. He looks directly at the door. What tarnation is going on around here? All right, you make it through.
All right. In vein of keeping him distracted, there's been a lot of weird crap happening on these farms. Back at the Metal Bliss farm, they had doors flying open too. While we were there investigating.
Uh-huh. You say it could be some of these fairy creatures you were talking about earlier?
Yeah, we think we found some fairy magic in the soil.
In the soil, not my soil. This place has been owned for generations, and nobody but myself has touched this land. And my workers, of course. But they use my methods.
That's mighty
As-
good to hear.
As I'm slipping out of sight, out of the open door.
Yeah.
I'm going to, in our telepathy, just say, "Will one of you grab my coat? I don't want to leave it behind."
I grab his coat.
Okay, fair enough. So while this is going on, we're just gonna go ahead and sidebar on to Mr. Chatul here. What are you gonna do once you make it out that door? Following the
Am I
secretary.
out front or am I in an office?
No, you are. So this office is small. There's obviously little offices within, but the door that she went out in went directly outside.
Okay, I'm trying to tail her.
Okay, that works. She has made a little bit of progress since she had left the office already, but you are able to see her and you're able to follow her. So you're just gonna continue following her?
Yeah, I'm gonna follow her and try to stay low and try to stay out of sight.
Okay.
Kind of going
Use.
full hitman on this.
Can you roll a perception check for me?
Ooh.
Okay. Hold on.
Still hidden, but I don't notice anything.
All right. You're gonna continue following her for a little bit. Mr. Demure and Mr. Ted. We're gonna come back to you real quick.
Okay.
I'll look at you guys like, so, is it just a bunch of questions you had, or do you need to look at my crops or anything?
So here, because I don't want him to know this tool's gone. I'm gonna say, you know, because this facility is so mighty impressive. Would you mind giving us a tour of your offices, to look for anything that might be out of place? We're not going to pry into any paperwork. We're not gonna go into any particulars you wouldn't want to get out. It's just as an outside perspective, we might be able to notice things that you or your workers might not.
Well, I can tell you right now, my office isn't much of anything. I just have bills and paperwork, not really important paperwork. That's all my secretary's job. I don't do any of that stuff. I just mostly keep it in there to relax after working out in the sun all day. You know what I mean? Just kind of my relaxing room. So, if you look here, and he'll show you the desk where the secretary's was working at. He's like, these are just the ledgers for my stuff. And then he reaches into one of the drawers and he pulls out. But if you look at this, and he'll show you all the little basically it's all shipping manifests. And you could see if you compare it between these numbers and the ones that are currently on the desk, that the ones on the desk have been reduced roughly about 70, or not 70, sorry, but 30%. So he's has a 30% loss in his stuff. I don't know what's going on, and it's really bumming me out. But I am looking for anything. I set traps all over the place outside to look for any people that might be trying to sneak in and grab my crops. And I'm pretty sure I saw some dug up stuff out there, but for the most part, we haven't been able to catch anything. And my crops just aren't producing like they're used to, and we haven't changed anything. We treat the dirt fine, we don't make it barren. We always make sure to fertilize everything. Everything is fine. We don't understand what's going on.
So,
I have no idea at this point if Cthulhu is still in range, but I am going to try to broadcast out. There are traps around the premises. Be careful. I'm going to try to broadcast that out. My thoughts. And to Mr. Big Moss Man here.
Mr. Cthulhu is too far away at this point.
Okay, well, I don't know that.
And that's fair.
I'm just attempting to do that.
Okay.
And Mr. Bossman here, I'm going to say, okay, so yeah, obviously there's very big number differences here. Has anything like this ever happened in the past?
Never. This place has
Never.
always been very profiting. We haven't. we've never even had droughts or anything major like that. Nothing in the past or anything that would, be like a pattern or any kind of things that we could, you know, come up with countermeasures with. And even for things that we have, like whether it's a plague or insects or anything like that, we have countermeasures for everything. But we just don't have anything going on. The crops just aren't showing up. So that's why I think my plants are being stolen.
Okay. And
So-
quick question. Then.
Sure.
Then,
Mr.
And then,
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
this is the last thing I'm going to ask him. So one last question.
Sure.
How do the yields of your farm here compare to, say, the yields of nearby towns?
Nearby towns, well, we're the largest producer of anything nearby. Other towns will specialize in their own thing. For us, it's vegetables. Some fruits, mostly vegetables, like potatoes and lettuce, tomatoes, those kinds of things.
Okay. Okay, I'm sorry.
But I hear even
The-
like the flower people are having issues. So I don't know.
Okay, so then, sorry, one last question. So this is happening in more places than just here, than just this town.
Well, I don't know about the other towns because they specialize in their own thing. We here in Edgeville, we're a farming town.
Okay. Thank you so much. It seems my compatriot here had something he wanted to say or ask.
Sure.
Shit, I forgot what I was gonna ask.
He looks at you. Do you have any kind of like religious insignias or anything of the sorts on your body that he might recognize?
Me?
Yes.
I have a prayer book.
That's it. There's nothing on your cloak or anything like that that has the same insignias or anything from your god that you worship.
I do have a holy symbol on me.
What is the holy symbol? Do you mind if I ask? You can make one up on the spot if you want.
Fuck.
I'll let
Hold
you
on.
think about that. Where is the holy symbol located on you?
I guess it was attached. It was attached to the book. Like it's like dangling off of it.
And is your book out in the open?
Yes, it's like
Okay.
attached to the head.
All right. You see the farmer just kind of glance at your book every now and then, look at you and back at the book, and seems a little bit at ease when he's around you, but that's about it. We're gonna go back to Rowan real quick. Chatul,
Yep.
are you still
Yes.
just following the secretary?
Is she heading further into the farm, or is she heading past
Yes.
like any bear,
So this
bear
farm
patches
is
or anything like that?
large, right? There's acres and acres and acres of land. But she seems to be heading towards a specific field. It's still somewhat towards the middle of the things, or of the farm, but she just seems to be heading out to the field, and she's gathering workers as she goes. Workers that aren't human. And
Right.
What do you do?
What type of races are they?
just a variety of races. There'll be halflings, there might be some elves.
So Fey races. So there
Mm.
are some Fey.
I
that
guess elves
Races
would be
that are technically associated with the Feywild.
kind of, yeah. But it's not just, it's nothing specific. It's just they're not human. Whereas you have noticed most of the town, as you've walked by, are majorly human. What do you do?
Is she leading them to a specific place?
She seems to be heading to like another. There are basically sheds littered all around this farm because it's a huge farm, and so these are, you would imagine, are the same as at Meadow Bliss, where this is where they would go ahead and store stuff. And she seems to be going one too that's a bit out of the way towards the back of the farm.
Is there a way I can get ahead of her and try to get there first?
She did have a quite a lead on you, because setting up the time. But if you sprint and roll another stealth check for me, you are more than welcome to try. Because she is
What if I
having
wanted
to stop
stay
and talk.
hidden and follow and like kind of follow behind her?
Yes.
Actually,
Uh,
is there a farmer nearby? Is there like a uniform, or is there?
Not really. These just seem to be their normal everyday working jobs. There's not a specific uniform that they have. But she is stopping every now and then to, yell at the workers and tell her to follow her, etc., etc.
I'm going to continue following behind her and
Okay.
observing until she
Sure.
gets to the shed.
Yeah, she gets to the shed and she immediately tells all the workers to rush inside. And then after she does this, she'll lock the door. And then she starts making her way back to the main office where Earl Hugshaw is.
So is she alone now?
Yes.
What's the farmer situation like around me?
Just a bunch of
Around
regular
us?
human work. Now there's just a bunch of regular human farmers around you. They're still all just doing their labor, just doing their normal stuff. So she's not alone per se. I mean, she's not being followed by a group of people anymore. But the area still has quite a few workers. There's hundreds of workers at this farm.
I've stayed fairly hidden in the crops.
Yeah.
So she's over, say, at this fence or at this gate, and starts walking back.
Yeah, she locked it up and she starts walking back.
Are there any bushes or anything nearby?
You're surrounded by crops, so you can hide behind.
After she locks the door.
Yeah, I would say, there are like those big square containers that hold water.
Mhm.
There's similar stuff to that nearby and stuff like that. There's barrels of what you could assume would be probably fertilizer or pesticides and stuff like that. So there's no lack of hiding spots.
Okay, so I'm going to use Mage Hand
Mm-hmm.
as a cantrip.
Yep.
And there is a chittering component to it, but it does just sound like natural insects and stuff like that.
Yeah, it doesn't seem out of place.
And I'm going to use it to toss a rock. Like, is there a rock nearby?
You could imagine from tilling up the ground and stuff like that, there might be a rock here now.
I'm going to do that and try to get her attention behind a, like, kind of like out of sight around the corner of the barn that she just locked these people in.
All right. Let's see. What do we want to roll for this? What would it be, like a performance check or a deception?
I can also do sleight of hand.
Well, your mage hand is invisible, so it'll do it. But based on how, you know what? Roll an attack roll for me.
Just straight attack roll.
Yeah.
Do you want a spell attack roll or?
Just like a ranged attack. You're throwing a rock. Depending on how high you roll, will determine how hard you hit the shed. All right, you hit it pretty fucking hard. She immediately looks around. What the fuck was that noise? And she looks and she's like,
does she start to go investigate it?
She's looking around the area, but she seems to be in a rush to get back, so she just assumes it was one of the workers probably shuffling around inside the shed, probably knocked something down. And so she is in a hurry to get back.
So I'm in the crops, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, I am going to while she's distracted by the sound, try to get up behind her
Okay.
and kind of like put my hand over her mouth and attempt to like pull her around the back of the shed.
All right. Roll a strength contest.
Big money.
Okay, you do that. It happened so quick she didn't have the time to even to respond. You could say, and immediately hiding behind the corner. She is struggling the way there, but
We
she
doing
can't
some
do anything about
espionage
how
shit.
strong you are.
When I'm comfortable that we're out of sight of the workers in the field,
Yeah.
I'm just going to go into her head, because I don't have my coat, I don't have my guns.
Yeah.
But I do
She
have.
is still terrified that an invisible force, because this is full on predator moment. Okay.
I do have my secondary arms.
Mm-hmm.
So one of them is going to go down to my pants and pull a dagger.
Oh, okay.
Pull
Ooh,
a dagger out. And
continue.
it's going to like. So the way I'm holding her is like I'm kind of like have my main arm around her, like under her shoulder and like covering her mouth. This other one is going to go under her other arm and like kind of try to hold the dagger up to her throat.
Okay. She is terrified at
And
this point.
in her mind, I'm just going to say, I have a couple of questions for you. If you answer them peacefully, I'll let you go.
You hear nothing
Do
but
not
screaming in her head.
scream.
No, I'm just kidding.
Continue
Continue.
screaming, and I skewer you.
Okay, she seems to. She's panicking in her head. You could see her eyes looking by
Understand.
any way that she could look for help. But continue. You may ask your questions. She is terrified at this point, but she doesn't have much of a choice.
Good. What's with all the workers? What's with all the non-humans?
Look, in her head, in your head, you hear, look, they don't have papers. Okay, they're not supposed to be here. We were hiding them so we don't get in trouble. Please.
What about the Fae?
We know nothing about the Fae. We've just been working here the whole time. Nothing's changed.
Why's your boss so... Why'd your boss indicate he wanted you to hide them?
Because they don't have their papers and we don't want to get in trouble or audited.
Seriously?
Yes.
That's what this is about.
Yes.
Not
We
about
make
the
a
crop
lot.
situation at all.
No, we just make a lot of money. We don't want to lose it.
Awesome.
We're not here about them. At this point, the dagger's gonna kind of like go. Like,
She
kinda
drops to the
relax.
ground and just like she's looking around for you. She's still not seeing you. Or did
Not
you drop
here
the
about
cloak?
that. No, I'm still kind of hidden.
Okay. What did you ask?
But like, just we're not here about that. We're here to investigate the crops.
Listen, you guys are here on official business, okay? How bad would it look if my boss, who's against foreigners, is hiring foreigners?
Not bad, actually. I think that would look pretty nice.
Not if he hates them. It's just cheap labor.
But obviously, he doesn't hate them if he's hiring them.
Just because they're cheap. I'm gonna go now. And she immediately gets up and starts running. You can still
She's gonna
telepathically communicate with her as she's running, but it's up to you what you want to decide. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna let her go.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna, as I pass by the front, I'm going to, like, can I break the lock?
Roll a strike check for me. You cannot break the lock. But
Just
you
going-
hear
I-
some
I'm just
you hear
kinda
some nervous clatter
dejectedly
from
walking
inside.
away.
Okay.
I'm just walking away. Like,
Are you
waste
gonna
of
make
my fucking time.
Are you gonna make your way back to the group?
Yeah, I'm not
Okay.
even trying to hide anymore.
You're just naked walking around. The workers are
I
like
have pants. I have
the-
pants.
the workers are extremely unnerved by a giant insect-like creature that came by. Some of them are
Half-naked
rushing.
insect man.
I'm just looking
but-
back.
They seem to just be avoiding you and whispering amongst themselves. Some of them even grabbing the pesticide, as if ready for defense.
Jesus.
All right. We'll say you make your way back. We're gonna go back to the to you guys real quick. And you guys have been discussing with the farmer, right? What's been going on, official wise?
Yeah. Just
Do I
kind of
know?
keeping him generally distracted.
Crow, do I notice him looking at the book in the talisman?
You can notice that he glances at it every now and then. Yeah.
Okay. I hold the book up to him and like, oh, I see this caught your eye. Are you a follower of this faith?
I've heard of it. I myself am not a follower of the same exact faith, but I can respect a god of any person with hard work and their individuals at mind. You know what I mean? Everything I
Sure.
produce here has been by my own hand, so I respect anybody who does anything by their own hand.
Okay.
It is at this point where the door slams open, and you guys see the secretary has made their way back. They seem to be in a rough spot, like they fell on the ground or something. Their hair's a little bit messed up, and a little bit nervous. But she looks at her own. She just nods really quickly and goes back to she goes back to her desk real quick. Kind of cleans herself up a little bit. She fixes her hair, takes the dust off her clothes and stuff like that. And she's like, and then all of a sudden, with this in mind, when he has an interaction with her, he will look at you guys regularly, like, well, would you guys like to see the crops?
So as this, because seeing that the secretary's back, I'm just going to project out there asking if Cthulhu's back.
I would say Cthulhu would be around range about now.
Yeah. So I figure I come into the door not long after the secretary. Just-
At this point, Earl's like very nervous and like, what the hell are you doing out there? Weren't you just right here? And he looks around to see where you were standing.
I whisper to the other two. I'm like, well, they weren't hiding anything. They're just cheap bastards.
What do you mean?
They're using illegals,
What do you mean illegals?
non-humans,
Nah.
non-humans without papers.
No,
They're just
okay.
cheap.
Okay.
I hand you his coat back.
I'm gonna say, yeah, we would like to see your crops, and if you could, I'd also like to talk to some of the workers.
Okay, sure thing. Then you guys step outside.
In his mind, I just interject, all of them.
Yeah, they're all out
'cause-
there already.
No, in Earl's.
Yeah, no. Oh, fuck, yeah. He's a little unnerved by the thought of something in his head, but he's able to make out that it was you talking to him directly, and he's very unnerved, very, very unpleasant feeling for him. So he's just standing there like, all my workers are outside working the fields. You can ask any of them what you want. No, that's
so in Cthulhu's head, not knowing their communication, I was going to say, can you make sure to try to guide the group over to wherever they brought the other non-human workers?
Yeah, I'm kind of gesturing them through the fields, kind of pointing out the various patches that are dead. and then kind of like motioning towards that one bar. Is it still locked?
Well, you guys
'Cause
aren't
I
close
didn't
enough to it,
lock.
but you guys are making your way there. He's like, oh yeah, these are my farms. These are the crops that are missing. You can see this one looks like it's been moved around a little bit, so that's why I think people are taking them. All around the perimeter, there's traps everywhere. All of these are just storehouses, just where we keep our normal stuff and stuff like that. So, just normal farm stuff. Normal farm stuff.
Yeah, except for the trafficking ring.
We don't do that here.
Your secretary says different.
He immediately glances at the direction of the secretary, and she immediately looks down. I'm sure whatever you heard just may have been spoken out of place.
And what I heard
Now.
is what I saw.
What did you see?
Something a man in your position would not want to go public with.
So
He
are we-
immediately
are we
looks at
walking
you.
in-
He stops. He looks at all of you and kicks you out. You guys are no longer welcome here. I was going to help you. Go help the hippies over at Meadow Bliss. I'll go look for some other help.
Okay. So, I'm going to give him a look. I'm going to attempt to persuade him. I'm going to attempt to persuade this man
Okay.
I was gonna do it.
to let us at least interview his workers before we leave. I'm
How
gonna
do you
tell
say?
him it's like I'm okay. Let's see. What do I say? So were we like whereabouts are we to that shed that does have the workers locked up in it?
You're about halfway there. It's a
We're
pretty
about
large
halfway.
farm, so you guys have made a little bit of headway, but it's still too far away to be
Okay.
within reach.
Hey Crow, since I've been pretty much not talking, can I stealth away from the group to go to the shed?
He is so on edge about you guys, he is not letting you guys out of your sight.
All right. So here's what I'm gonna do to try to kind of persuade him. Right. Time to use thaumaturgy again. I'm going to use it to make my voice louder, 3 times as loud as thaumaturgy states, because I want this to project. I want the workers. If I can't reach the non-human ones, that's fine. But I want the human ones. The human ones to hear. Right.
Sure.
And I'm just going to yell out. I'm not going to actually do it because I live in an apartment complex. But I'm going to yell out. We are from the Adventurers Guild. And we were sent here to figure out why crops keep disappearing. Now your boss here, Mr. Earl, he doesn't want us to do that. He doesn't want us to do that. This is putting all of your livelihoods in jeopardy. We just want to talk to you and be on our way. He is refusing to let us do so.
Roll a
If-
persuasion check for me. But continue with dialogue. Apologies.
I've just got to kind of go on along those lines for a little bit and just end off. If you value your jobs and you value the living you make, please come and talk to me.
Do we have any
And-
form of identification that shows that we're from the Adventurers Guild?
I would say that there's so I did forget to mention this, but the Adventurer Guild did give you guys a bag of holding and 500 gold to be able to do stuff that you're supposed to, to be able to help you in your situation.
Okay, that is good to know.
The bag of holding is what is it called when the little sewing machine makes the letters?
Embroidered.
Yeah.
It is embroidered with the insignia of the Adventurers Guild.
So I do that. That is my roll as a 15.
Okay. So with this, Earl Huckshaw looks at all of you, still very, very upset at you guys. He will make a whistle noise real quick, And all of a sudden, about 50 armed guards show up. With this, he also looks at one of his workers. Jose, come over to this inside real quick. And then you may interview one. And you guys walk in, and he will start leading you guys back with the armed guards following behind as well. And Jose also scurries off towards the office.
Okay.
What do you guys do?
I'll make sure, Mr. Earl Hookshaw, I will make sure that the guild does hear about you impeding our investigation into this. The guild
Yeah,
will
more-
learn.
You're more than
And,
welcome to do anything with you can, but I provide quite a bit of funds to the guild to help out. And I'm quite offended that you guys have been quite disrespectful to me. So,
Oh, disrespectful. About as disrespectful as you've been to those workers you have locked up in the shed.
his face turns pale for a second, and he goes,
Yeah, we know about that too.
those workers are paid well. They get treated well.
We
They
don't
get
care about the state
a paid lunch.
of their pay. We don't
So it's
care
not
that they're
that.
illegal. We
Okay.
don't care that if they're paid well or not. We just want to question them to see what's going on. Our job is not about the employment of your workers. Our job is about to getting the bottom of what is affecting your farm and your bottom line, sir.
He'll look at his secretary. He'll whisper to her. She'll run off to the shed. She unlocks it. You can see that she gets one worker to come out. A little half.
Okay.
Or no, you know what? No, sorry, an elf will come out. And she ushers the elf to come forward and to go and follow Jose to the office. Now, you will have two workers. You can question. We can go inside now.
This is acceptable.
And then she, as you leave, start heading inside. You see she doesn't lock the door. She leaves it wide open. The workers will start trailing off one by one. They're confused about the situation, about what's going on. They're scared. They don't know what's going on. They just, some of them resume back to work, and the others are just kind of terrified and talking to themselves. And then you guys make your way inside.
Okay. Because I do want to get this out of the way, and because I feel like he's going to be very monitoring of the questions.
Correct. He's going to be there the whole
asks.
time. And I
So
think
you said
he
you brought
doesn't
out an
have.
elf.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to have anything to hide from you guys as far as questioning about the crops go. He was just concerned about the paperless people.
Yeah, we couldn't give a shit about that.
So, but
we might now that he's threatened us, but we don't give a shit about that.
Okay,
But
so he's not going to have really many concerns about that. But if you start asking questions you're not supposed to about how, the workers are treated and stuff like that, or, about how many immigrants there might be working here, then he might be a little bit. But you can continue with your questions as you make your way inside an office.
Okay. So I'm going to greet and say hello to Jose there. And I'm going to turn to Mr. Hookshaw and I said, to just help with the elf, I'm going to greet the elf in Elvish. That is all I'm going to do.
I speak Elvish, son. That ain't no big deal to me. You have to sometimes to be able to communicate with your workers.
Mhm. And I turn to the elf and I'm going to greet the elf in Elvish. I'm going
Okay.
to greet the elf in Elvish and introduce myself. And apologize for the confusion that has been caused.
All right. The elf looks at you and he's a little bit nervous, but he responds in kind. He's like, "Hi, my name is Lyle, Lyle. What can we do?"
Okay. Like I
And
said,
Jose will be standing next to each other so they can both answer your questions.
Lyle, Jose, we are here to investigate the strange disappearances of crops. And the reason why we want to interview your workers is because y'all don't sit in your office, y'all are out in the fields working. Y'all will know things, y'all will see things, y'all will hear things.
They just nod at you. Continue.
So, has there been anything strange going on besides the disappearing of crops? Has there been anyone in the fields that shouldn't be? Has there been something different with the seeds you plant, different with your tools? Has there been anything weird? Anything of note? Anything at all, even if it's minor? Please tell me.
Jose will be the first to speak. He looks at you and he'll be like, there's nothing that's changed. We don't quite understand ourselves. We've been working the same farms, and the tools have all been the same. The same techniques, same soil, same, fertilization and tilling, and nothing's changed, which is why we can't figure out what's going on. But at the mention of anything strange, Lyle kind of looks like a little bit like, maybe I should speak up, maybe I shouldn't. Decides to, takes a quick look at Earl, doesn't really say anything. What do you guys do?
Do I notice he looks like he wants to say something? But
Yeah, I would say that you are questioning him directly. I would say that, yes.
Okay, Lyle. We need to get down to the bottom of this. I wasn't lying when I said it does affect all of your livelihoods. If the crops all disappear, you guys don't earn any money. You guys can't survive. If you know anything, I need you to please speak up.
He'll look at you, kind of nervous as he says things. Then he'll look at Earl, also nervous. And he's like, well, we've told Mr. Earl about this, but I don't know if he believes me. But there seems to be like a lack of magic in the soil. It's almost as if there's just certain patches, the patches that don't have food, coincidentally, that just don't seem to be growing. We don't understand. It's not like they're being, and it's not like the plants are sick. There's no insects. There's nobody coming in and stealing. We just don't know. But there just seems to be a lack of magic. This entire town, this entire land, is teeming with this magic. But where people were growing crops, it just seems to be missing in some spots. Immediately, Earl was like, "That's just a bunch of hogwash. There's a bunch of people stealing stuff. You saw some of those plants." And some of those empty crops, the ground was dug up and everything. They were stealing our stuff. It's like, but Mr. Huckshaw, it was us digging up the plants to see if the seed was still there. I told you that. He's like, I don't believe it. I think people are still stealing plants.
All right.
Once I get to the bottom of this, they will have all my attention.
Okay. Earl. What Lyle here is saying is not untrue. The same thing is happening on Metal Bliss. The patches there are missing are missing some form of magic in them, and the seeds just aren't growing. They don't have spots dug up for people checking for why the seeds are growing. We found that out when we were there earlier today. Your workers aren't lying.
I think it's a conspiracy, but continue.
But if that's all that was noticed was the lack of magic, I think that's all we can probably get from this conversation. I'm gonna turn to my compatriots here. Cthulhu, Demir, do y'all have anything I want to ask?
Get anything?
No, I'm drawing a blank.
Okay, then I believe we're done here, Mr. Earl.
Actually, hold on. Earl, if you truly
Yes.
believe somebody else is doing this to you, who do you think would be responsible for it?
I already told you. Some of those foreigners out there mad that I didn't hire them. But to be
Why
honest,
didn't
and
you hire them?
he says it kind of quietly. To be honest, the real reason is we can't bring too much attention to ourselves. We can only hire so many people before people start questioning things. So we do what we can, but we can't hire everyone.
Who didn't you hire?
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, lad. There's so many foreigners just constantly coming here. We're right next to a coast, you see. So at the there's just sorry, people coming in all the time.
Has
Wherever
anyone
we can.
left?
Oh no, I think my employees are pretty happy with their situation. If anybody's left, it's not for any reason that I can think of that would be negative towards this. And you can tell that he's telling the truth. Despite his bigotry, he does seem to care about his workers. And so he does treat them because he doesn't want them to leave. It's his, that's how he makes money. So you can't really tell anything off about, or if he's telling lies about anything, or you can tell that he's not lying about it. Apologies.
All right.
Is there anything
Well,
else I can answer for you guys, or is that it?
I think we're about done here.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Well, I stand up. I go to shake Earl's hand because it's the polite thing to do. I go to shake his hand and I say, thank you for having us here.
Sure thing.
I would say it's been a pleasure, but the 50 armed guards makes me think otherwise.
You would understand if you were in my situation. Now, if you guys are leaving, he's going to dismiss the guards. Until
Oh, shit, I have
Jose
an
and
earthquake.
Lyle.
Hold on. I have an earthquake going on.
Oh, shit.
Oh, oh shit!
Damn it!
How bad is
Fucking,
it, Gio?
it's Desi casting thaumaturgy on fucking...
Okay, no,
Geo.
we're good. It stopped.
God, there's been a lot of activity in California. Was it also earlier today? Earlier, a little while ago, I think I hit with a Jesus. As
We're
we're
good.
walking away, just as are we leaving now? I'm
Up to you
asking.
guys. I'm
asking
assuming
you two,
so.
are we leaving?
Yeah, we'll start heading now.
So as we're leaving, going out the front door, as we are about 30 feet away from the secretary's desk, another gunshot's gonna ring out from under her desk.
He looks at you directly. He knows it's you.
I give a little wink as as we're walking away.
Yep.
I'm so glad. I mentioned to the other cowgirl, I'm so glad and did not give him my actual name.
I don't think we gave any of us his name.
I think you introduced yourselves to the secretary, no?
No.
I didn't.
Oh,
No,
shit.
we didn't.
We didn't.
I just
Yeah,
terrified
he
the
just
shit
saw.
out of
Yeah,
her.
I guess he just saw Earl in the bag, and took it as good enough.
Took it as yeah. Yeah.
As you guys are leaving, he looks at the secretary. Did you get their names? I just got Earl. Okay, good enough. All right. So you guys are gonna. Where are you guys gonna go now?
Well, our only other lead right now is Madam Jones on
Yeah.
the other side of town.
All right. So I say I'm gonna take a quick break real quick because I gotta take a piss really bad and I want to get another water.
I'm gonna
Um,
drink.
So
Alright.
I will be right back. But we're just gonna say you're making. We're gonna be at Madam Jones by the time I come back.
Okay.
All right.
I'll just ball talk with Ron then.
All right. I'll be right
Uh,
back.
So what are you making of all this, Ron?
You guys. Oh yes. If you guys would like to discuss between amongst each
It's
other,
fey
what
magic.
talking. So
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's fey magic, and there's a. That's probably partly why their farming so successful is because of the fey magic.
Exactly.
So it makes me
So
wonder if this
Something
land
to
is
do with
barren
Madam
without it.
Jones.
Might be something to do with Madam Jones, and it makes me wonder if this land would be barren without said fey magic, considering the
Or
crops
if they
just
just
aren't growing.
don't know how to farm without it.
That could also be the case too. So my assumption that they weren't doing something right at Metal Bliss might not have been too far off.
Exactly. I think that's right in a way.
Why is it patches?
Yeah, it's right in a way. The exact reason I had Or because my character was just bullshitting. Obviously, he doesn't know anything about fucking farming.
And then I tried to be a fucking hitman, and it was all fucking useless.
Also, by the way, Gio, the fact you fell over when the gunshot happened, that was fucking perfect. By the way.
What
That
about
was
the fact that I just fucking poofed out of existence.
there was none of that was planned. That was great.
I'm just like, well, I'm gonna do this. Drops coat.
I'm gonna stealth. Look at paperwork.
These are numbers.
See, because like the fact, like, because I didn't know. I mean, we didn't know until partway through that we could telepathy back to you. Like we didn't know we could telepathy.
To be
back
fair,
to you.
that's kind of something that you'd be picking up on the more you worked with my character.
But yeah, the fact
'Cause-
that plan came together without us communicating what the plan was really.
Because that's the thing. My character is like his characteristic, incredibly slow to trust.
Exactly, as you should be. As you should be.
So, like, generally, I'm playing it pretty close to the vest in terms of, well, can I only talk to one person at a time? How can I talk to multiple people?
Of course, of course.
Can I talk to everyone in a certain radius? You know, I'm being very coy with that.
Okay, I'm back.
Well, that's up.
Okay. And I think even if it wasn't for you going and following the secretary, I could have probably just intuited, because I was just suspicious he dismissed her after he mentioned not hiring any non-humans. It's just like, he hires non-humans. Like, it's just a matter of finding them. That's why she left. I knew exactly what she was doing when she's left. As
Alright.
someone who is a grade A bullshitter, and someone whose character is also a grade A bullshitter, it would be
Don't believe
intuitive.
me, I'm making notes of.
Yep.
All right. Got my water. Just grabbing a twist of tea real quick. Which one? That one. Okay, fellas. Are we ready to continue?
Yes.
Yes,
Are we
sir.
having fun?
Yes,
There-
but I have
Okay.
a question. I have a question for you.
Yes, go ahead.
Do we have to go back through town to get to Madame Jones?
It's a bit of a walk, but yeah, you would go back through town.
Okay, cool. I would like to stop off real quick in
Okay.
town.
Sure. Let's go
'Cause
ahead
I
and do
have
the quick tea
this.
tour then.
Ear to the ground. So, I have a contact in the city, in the town.
Sure.
No.
Person who has information about the people, the places, a lot of the stuff about the local area.
Okay.
So I assume as we're going down into town, I don't necessarily make like a big scene about it.
Sure.
Like I don't try to. I just say, "Hold up a second. I gotta talk to someone."
Sure.
Yeah, sure,
And-
sure.
And real quick, because I heard you talking about the way your telepathy works earlier. I'm not sure exactly how it's stated because I had to go back and read it. But for the sake of brevity, it's just like having an over conversation to anyone. You could broadcast it to everyone, but if you
Yeah.
choose to, you can
I can limit it.
pick. You could pick specifically who you want to listen to or talk to.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So what do you do? What are you looking for?
So I have a contact, and so I kind of duck down some alleys, some like behind certain buildings.
Are you gonna stay within range of your telepathy for your companions or no?
I'm not really hiding it if they want to follow me.
Okay. What do you guys
I
do?
follow him.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll follow him. Yeah, see where he goes.
Okay.
I kind of duck down a couple of alleys, like kind of behind like a I assume there's a weapons shop nearby.
Sure.
So kind of go down
It's
that
not
way.
too far off the ways, yeah.
Come around to like a wall. And I knock on it.
Who is it?
I'm assuming I don't have it.
Are you gonna do? Is there like a special knock or anything, or is it just a regular just knock on the door?
Oh, I have common, Thri-Kreen, and undercommon. Yeah, it's I'll use like a special knock. I knock like 3 times, and then
Okay.
just some various chittering, and a door will open. And I'm assuming a door will open.
There's a little slot on the top of the door that opens. Like, what do you want?
It's me. I'm here to talk to him.
Give
Here to
me a
talk to
second.
the guy.
Give me a second. You hear some shuffling going on in the background. Takes you a couple minutes. Eventually, the door opens, and a robed dark elf comes out. What can I do for you?
I'm here to talk. I need to know I have a job in the area.
Okay. How may I be of assistance?
I need information about a woman. Madam Jones?
Oh, Madam Jones! I mean, yes, Madam Jones. What about her?
I need information. What has she been up to since she sold her farms?
From what I hear, she's just retired. She's just doing her own thing. She comes out to the markets every now and then, but she just keeps to herself.
When she ran those farms, were there any incidences that could be unexplained?
The only thing was that her farm was known for producing quite amounts of produce, almost being able to compete with Saddle Vista, despite having such a small amount of land. You know, it was honestly quite surprising, but she is quite the character back in her younger days. You know, everybody knew her. She was a great person to talk to, the life of the party, one might say. You know, and she's really quite a joy to be around from when I remember. You know, I've been here for years and years, for decades. No one else has quite come close to somebody as magnificent as Madame Jones.
Since she retired, has there been any incidences of people going missing or
No, not that I can think of. I
unusual
mean,
plants being sighted or plants blooming out of season?
as far as I know, she has her own little farm in her own little, cottage. She's got like a little greenhouse, and she's got
But nothing
a
out of
few
the
trees and
ordinary
stuff
around
like that,
town?
but nothing crazy.
No children going missing or
Definitely no children. She loved children. She would often give them little treats made from the vegetables or the fruits that she would grow, like caramel apples, candied grapes, and all sorts of stuff.
I'm gonna pull out a piece of paper out of my coat and
Sure.
unfurl it. Last question.
Last answer.
Looking for this tiefling. Don't have a description, but I got a name. Goes by the name Johnny. Any word on him in the area?
He looks at the piece of paper that you give him.
It's just a general description. Tiefling,
Oh, it's
horns.
not a picture of of him?
It's just a general description. Tiefling, horns, tail. Like it's the most vague fucking description.
So just tiefling with the name Johnny.
Yes.
He looks at it.
And then it like is a detail, like a list of various crimes, including a couple of murders.
He looks at it. He looks at you.
I don't
That's-
necessarily hide what it is, so I don't know if you want to look at it.
I assume that
Oh,
this
okay, we're in
conversation
there
just
with
was
you.
just
Yeah.
between him and you.
guys are looking at it.
So, wait, so there's no picture with it, right?
No, it's just a list.
It's
Tiefling
like
named Johnny.
it's like a child's hand drawing of a
It's a
tiefling.
stick figure.
It's just a stick figure with horns and a tail, and it's red ink. You know.
I'm a, and I'm
He
gonna say,
looks
like,
at
the
it.
reward. What would you say the reward is for this?
Oh, that's hard to say. Because I don't know. What would you say, Mister Frozen Peppers, as a former DM? What would you think?
Well, it
Be
depends
proper
on
about
what
it.
is a gold worth in your economy.
Let's say a gold is worth $1,
Like,
probably.
okay, so let's say, like, how much would like a decent sized home in your economy be?
A decent sized home.
Yeah.
I would say $300,000, probably.
So then I would say like
No.
this is probably like
Let's go. Try to think. I would say probably about 100,000.
so then I would say this is probably worth like about 30 or 40,000 gold.
30 or 40,000.
But it specifically says wanted dead.
Okay. So yeah, he's just gonna look at the picture. He's gonna look at you, and he's like, "Did you make this yourself?"
Real funny, jackass.
No, I have
Look at
not
this
heard
deal,
of.
it's from the guild. It's from the Bounty Hunters Guild.
I can't really say that I've really heard of a tiefling with horns other than just your regular ones going around named Johnny, causing these kinds of crimes. It's just nothing major happens in this town, to be quite honest with
I got word he was in this area of the continent trying to seek sea travel. That lead dried up 6 months ago.
you. I haven't really heard of anybody, to be honest with you.
I nudged Ted. I'm like, that could look like you.
I know. I have horns and I have a tail. Oh my god.
For
Is he?
reference, this is what you hand him, by the way. Hold on.
God.
With a slight little description at the bottom.
It's just the shittiest drawing of a demon. And this is the official wanted poster that was sent like the Bounty Hunters Guild.
yeah, that's what he's like, did you do this yourself? Oh, shit. Okay. He's like, no, I can't really say that I have. Is there anything else I can do for you?
I write down on a piece of paper my room number at the local inn.
Sure.
If you get any information, here's this.
And he holds out his
1,000
hand for you to
1,000
place
gold from
the
the
thing in it.
profit if I get the bounty.
He holds out his hand as you lay the piece of paper on him, on the hand, but he still holds it out, and he's looking at you like he's expecting something else.
You get paid when I get work. You know the deal.
You are working right now, aren't you?
Yeah, and I'm not paid for it yet.
You got handed 500 gold at the beginning of the thing. I know
didn't
how
know
the.
that.
He's like, I've had my dealings with the Adventurer Guild before. I know they pay you guys a deposit to start out stuff.
No, he's an info
Ted, pay
broker.
the
He-
man.
You think a man with the ears on the ground doesn't know how this town works?
what's his rate?
You could just give him like 10 gold or something. He doesn't care. He just wants to get paid for answering questions.
Yeah, sure. I give him the equivalent of $10.
Hey, your next drink is on us.
Thank you very much. And then he goes back inside.
Nice guy, ain't he?
So this Johnny guy, what is he guilty of? This guy you're looking for.
No idea. Got a lot of people seem to want him dead, though.
I can only imagine why.
Accused of murder in 3 different cities.
Murderer, really?
Yeah. Sounds like he went on quite a tear. 2 noble women, too. Real shame, though.
I hope you managed to catch the bastard.
All right. Is there any other stops you guys want to make?
Yeah, I don't have a reason to stop in town.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. You guys make it over to Madame Jones's house. Upon your arrival. Oh, go ahead.
Before we go to the door, can I cast a cantrip?
Yes, but I'm going to describe the house first, if that's okay.
Okay,
Because
right.
you guys haven't made it to knock on the house yet. You guys can just see the farm from the directions you were given. As you guys make up your way to the house, you see this beautiful, beautiful little cottage. It's surrounded by nothing but beautiful plants. They're all local, but you have never seen something so green and so full of life before. The trees are in abundance around the area. Everything about this place is just absolutely covered in greenery. How do you guys approach,
I
Mr.
approach by
Yes,
casting
Demir.
Detect Evil and Good.
Okay. Can you explain that for me, please?
For duration, you can detect if there's a elemental, fey, fiend, or undead within 30 feet of you for 10 minutes, and you can detect any object that is magically consecrated or desecrated. It can only be blocked by like 1 foot of stone or 1 inch of metal, basically. So
Okay.
regular wooden wall is not going to stop.
You notice that this entire area seems to be teeming with life magic or like nature magic. It's just overflowing. Everything about this area is phenomenal. Whether that's the doings of Madame Jones or just the area that she picked, you don't quite know yet. But yeah, this place is definitely, I would say, magically consecrated.
Do I detect a fey since I can detect fey creatures in that house?
Does it tell you the location or how many?
Yes. You can any creature within 30 feet as well as creature where the creature is located.
Yes, you detect the presences of 2 fey creatures inside the house.
Okay, that's my turn.
Okay.
Okay, so as we're approaching the door, I'm like, I'm going to save us some time. I'm going to use thaumaturgy to emit a knocking sound from the door.
Okay.
I hide.
You hear some shuffling and
Jill said he wants to hide.
okay. Roll a stealth check for me real quick.
Okay, hold on.
There's definitely no lack of shrubbery you can hide behind from, so
I imagine Warforged are very stealthy.
D20 plus 3, right?
It'd be D20 plus your Dex modifier, I believe.
Yeah, I have 3 stealth.
Damn, you're pretty fucking dexterous.
Yeah, I'm a
Crit.
damn. You hide so well, your companions lose sight of you. All right. As you hide, all of you hear this. You hear a voice from behind the door. I'm coming. Just give me 1 second. These legs don't work the same way they used to before, you know? You hear some shuffling and some struggling behind the door. Continue. Go ahead.
Since I detected since I know there's 2 fake creatures, I telepathically tell Chitul that hey, there's 2. I'll fucking do it. Chitul, there's 2 creatures in that shed.
No,
Or
it's in the
there's 2
cottage.
fake creatures in that shed.
It would be in the cottage. There is a shed, but in the cottage,
Sorry.
there are 2 fake creatures. All right.
As soon as he says that there are fey creatures, I am going to kneel down and pull the rifle off of my back,
Oh God.
and I'm going
Okay.
to infuse it
Okay.
with a repeating shot.
Okay.
I'm gonna look over like, What the hell are you doing?
So a repeating shot makes it a magic weapon. Grants it a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls.
Okay.
Ignores the loading property if it has it, and produces its own ammunition, automatically creating 1 piece of magic ammunition when the wielder makes a ranged attack with it.
Sounds good to me.
So I'm going to be kneeling down, setting that up, and I'm
You
going
do seem to hear
telepathically
that she is struggling with the door, so you have
mention,
plenty of time.
mention, heads up. According to Demir, there's 2 fey creatures inside.
So I just think like, so you're pulling out your gun?
Can never be too careful.
And where the hell did Demir go?
Question for another time.
Ah, Jesus. I'm gonna be standing like by the doorway in a way to where she comes out the door and sees me. She's gonna be kind of looking away from Tool, so she doesn't come out and see a gun pointed at her immediately.
I'm not pointing it at her. I'm just kind of kneeling on the ground with a rifle.
I'd still like her to not see that we have weapons out immediately. That we don't have. Yeah, I'd like her. I'd like her to not see that immediately. So yeah, I'm gonna angle myself in a way when she opens the door, and me being the only person right at the door now, she's gonna notice me first. So I'm gonna try to draw her vision a little bit away from Jatul.
All right. At this, you all of a sudden, if you guys are done preparing, the door will start to open, and from behind, an old, nice, plump old lady by the name of Madame Jones, as you have come to know. And she's like, "Oh my gosh, we have visitors! Hello!"
And kind of matching her inside, man, say, "Do you perchance happen to be Madame Jones?"
I sure happen to be Madame Jones, young man. What can I do for you today?
I'm gonna like reach out to kind of like take her hand, palm up, put her hand in mine, and kind of gently cusp the top of her hand with my other palm and say, "It's a pleasure to meet you. We're here from the Adventurers Guild. We need to ask you a few questions."
The Adventurers Guild. Oh my! She blushes when you take her hand. I can't believe you're making me feel like such a young woman again. Thank you so much. May I ask for your name, please?
Oh, my name is Ted, and you're talking like you're old. You can't be more than 30.
Oh dear, look at you. If I was any younger, I'd definitely scoop you right up.
Oh, I would absolutely love that.
Now what can I do for you, you young man?
Well, like I said, ma'am, we're here to just ask some questions. You see, the farms around here, they've been having some trouble. I'm sure you've heard.
I really don't go out to town that often, to be honest with you. I really haven't heard. You guys are the first visitors I've had in years.
Oh, well, there seems to be random patches of crops that just seem to be refusing to grow. I believe when we visited Meadow Bliss, we're told that you used to run that farm.
The moment that... Can you roll an insight check for me, please?
Yeah. Hold on, what's my insight? Ooh, -2. My character is not very wise. I'm gonna use my inspiration to roll that.
Go for it.
It's better than a 0.
The DC wasn't high; it was a 5, so it's fine.
Okay.
The moment that you say that there has been some issues with the farms, she looks really concerned, and she's like, "No, I haven't heard anything about that going on with the farms. But yes, I did used to own Meadow Bliss. before that lovely, lovely young couple took over. They were just freshly married back then, so young and full of life. I couldn't say no to their dreams and aspirations, you see. What's going on?
Oh, we'd love to talk to you more about it. Would you mind if we came in and sat down?
Absolutely. Come inside. Oh my gosh, where are my manners? She leads you inside. Where are you? Is it just you going in, or are you all going in?
I telepathically to Chitola is like, listen, if you're gonna come in, please put that away.
I'm still hidden outside.
And I have no idea where Demir is.
I'm going to lower the rifle to my side and like
Would-
sling it over my shoulder.
We'll just consider it a readied, just like readied, for example.
Yes, it's.
Okay.
I'm still on guard,
Sure.
but I will enter.
Oh my, such a fascinating person you are. What's your name?
I can appear into her mind and just say, Chitul.
And for the first time in the entire day, this person does not seem to be phased at all that you are talking to her inside her head. And she goes, Chitul, that is an absolutely wonderful name. Please, come inside. I have some snacks prepared. And you guys
Glance around.
and you guys are more than welcome to go inside. Please roll
Will
a
it-
group perception check, except for Demir.
Okay.
She doesn't see Demir. Demir's still hidden. As far as she knows, there's just two of you.
No, Jesus Christ. I'm not
Wow.
perceiving shit. -1.
You actively go blind.
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
Chitul will see for both of you. You walk inside. As you're walking inside, you see just a beautiful little cottage. Like, think about like cottage core, right? Like when you're on Pinterest or anything
Oh,
like that. You look up cottage
so
core.
cozy as fuck.
It's super cozy. It is the nicest place. Like you feel so welcome coming in here. You know, it is. There's little plants everywhere. You know, the smell of fresh baked cookies are there. What's you guys' favorite cookies?
In character or real?
Let's go either or.
Sugar cookies.
Sugar cookies.
Sugar cookie.
Desi? Oh.
Maybe.
Hello?
Hello?
There it is. Hello.
Hello? Hi.
Hi.
Okay, I was probably speaking too quietly. Snickerdoodle is my favorite cookie.
Okay, that is perfect. Demure, what is your favorite cookie? Or Mr. Geo, what's your favorite cookie?
Me? Tagalongs.
What is it?
You know those Girl Scout cookies that are like chocolate with like a peanut butterish kind of feeling?
Oh god, those are so
Oh.
good.
Those are addicting.
Type it in chat because I don't know what it is. But you guys are walking inside. This is what you see. At least this is what Chitul sees. As far as Ted is concerned, he walked in and some dust fell in his eyes, so he can't see shit.
It's in D&D chat.
Okay, perfect. And you smell you can't quite tell exactly what the smell of those cookies are, but you know that they smell absolutely delicious. All right, and as Madam Jones is about to close the door, all of a sudden you see at least this is what Chitul sees, a tiny flittering little creature goes up to Madam Jones's ears, and she looks outside for a second right before closing the door. And she's like, "Excuse me, young man, you don't have to hide. You can come inside too. Please, you're more than welcome to." And she's addressing you, Demir.
All right. Since I've been seen, I go ahead and get up and go.
Please, please, come inside. I promise you you're safe here. I try to be as cozy as possible. Please come inside, come inside. You make your way in.
Actually,
I'm on even more on guard.
you know what? Okay, so who is Chitul has his gun out already, right?
It's tucked away, but it's readied.
Huh. Can I cast something?
Yeah. Are you gonna try to do
Oh
it?
shit. Okay, so I'll wait for this. I'll do it when Desi comes back.
Sure.
I think he DC.
I think so too.
Oh, actually, yeah, I'll wait till Desi's back.
Well, Desi can't see anything right now. So we'll pretend we'll go with that. This is perfect because he can't see what's going on. His perception is -1.
Oh fuck! Hold on. My freaking
Nope. His internet's also going
I
out.
think-
Yep, his
yeah.
internet died.
The rainstorm is kicking my shit out.
Oh, good.
But if I'm gonna do something without Desi being here, I'm gonna go ahead and cast protection from good and evil on Rowan or
Okay.
on Cthulhu.
Hey, could you explain what that spell does to me, please?
Basically, it prevents. Well, since there's Fae here, I'm just gonna go to Fae. It prevents the Fae from gives disadvantage to anything that the attack rolls against Rowan. It also makes it so you can't possess him, frighten him, or charm him, or any sort of you can't manipulate him basically.
Okay, that works for me. That's perfect. Thank you. Thank you for explaining that to me. All right, you do that. Do your eyes glow in any kind of way when this happens, or no?
No, I think it just gives you it just. I mean, if you want to,
Just to add some
my
flavor as
only-
you're casting it. Like, let's say my eyes will start to glow and I cast, blah 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 blah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's say I wave a hand gesture towards Rowan or towards Cthulhu, and I cast protection from good and evil on him preemptively.
Sounds good to me. All right, but then do you make your way inside?
And I ask Cthulhu if anything looks different before I step inside.
Chatul, how do you answer?
Or Cthulhu I tell Cthulhu, has anything changed in that room before I go in there?
You now have protection from good and evil on you, but you do not notice a change. Everything is still just as cozy. The cookies smell just as delicious, and
Everything is different.
everything is just as inviting. And I'm gonna go ahead with the assumption that protection from good and evil, if they were charmed in any way, would automatically let them know, hey, this is, it's perfectly fine.
You're being
Or
manipulated.
it would have let you know and immediately snapped them out of it, basically. But for Rowan,
Okay.
there is no change. For Chatul, everything's still normal. Nothing has changed.
Okay. If nothing's bad, then I step inside.
All right. With this, she closes the door. You're more than welcome to roll a perception check as well if you'd like, since you are the last one to step in.
You might not get this because I'm fucking rolling on my computer while also talking on my phone.
You're fine. I could roll for you. Yeah, I could roll for you if you'd like to as well. You just tell me what your plus is. No, that works. Yeah. You notice the exact same things. You even notice a little jittering creature, or a little flittering creature that went up next to Madame Jones and was looking at you. But they don't look like they're here to cause any harm of any kind. And so she invites all of you in, and you go and sit down. Or she shows you to the living room, and she shows you the couch, and she invites you guys to sit down. And one of you guys is going to have to take Desi's hand and walk him towards the couch because he's blind.
I grabbed it. I grabbed Ted's hand and bring him to the table.
Ted's just like, God damn it! There's something in my eye. Hold on. But he'll walk with you guys as you lead him to the couch and you get him to sit down and you guys sit down. Now I'll be right back, my dearies. I'm just gonna go to the kitchen real quick and grab some cookies. And for my assumption, it sounds like everybody here loves tagalong. So she comes back, or if you guys want to discuss with yourselves as she's in the kitchen, grabbing these delicious smelling cookies, you're more than welcome to.
Huh.
Well, wait, don't
Give me a
Dusty
sec.
back continue.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
wait till Dusty's back, but since this is like a more, this involves him too.
It's a casting couch.
Damn.
The bad thing about picking all these like combat like abilities and cantrips is I barely have anything to use like in between.
You're fucking telling me.
I told you this is gonna be a very heavy RP session.
I got like 3 separate ways to heal and 4 different ways to smite people, and I can't even do either of them.